Man, it's really hard to record stuff when we suddenly go from cold to warm, and it makes it very difficult to record because the temperatures go up and I have to put like fans on and stuff. Um, you've probably been doing this too, or have come across it in the last couple of months. Every day, I probably check out the coronavirus COVID global cases dashboard. I have a particular thing for data in dashboards. It was quite a shock once we went over a million to see the graph now being updated to show 1.5 million and 2 million instead of it just going up in increments of 200,000. Jumping massively to nearly 1.5 million total confirmed cases and rapidly heading towards 100,000 deaths. I kind of just wanted to remark on it today and did a bit of a blog post about it. Yesterday I was kind of, giving information about Zoom and why I shouldn't probably be using video conferencing. Today I'm completely going a different direction and talking about coronavirus because it's still on my mind. You can't avoid it, you can't ignore it, you can't suppress it. It exists, it's out there. I don't necessarily have a fear because I feel like I go through and step through and do all the things that I've been told to do by my government and the information they've put out in terms of washing hands and being smart about it in terms of social distancing and things like that. Obviously, it's incredibly unfortunate and, painful to lose 100,000 people on planet Earth from this deadly pandemic. People I'll never get to meet. People who will never find their soulmate. People who will never achieve something that they set out to achieve in life. Maybe they had some kind of radical look at the standard model or the next generation battery or some kind of part to play in Elon Musk's mission to get to Mars. We just will never know. And don't get me wrong, we have people die by the millions every year over a variety of these things. I think it's just the suddenness of something like a pandemic. The majority of us, those people under 90 or 100, I guess, yeah, have never seen a pandemic. So this is kind of like completely fresh territory to see these kinds of numbers of infections and dots all over a map with, this amount of deaths spread out around the globe. We have other diseases and flu symptom people dying from those things from like ill health or bad immune systems, but there's just something extra metallic and I don't know, it feels like living in a dream sci-fi at times. But it really, really hit me in the last couple of days about that particular number. Maybe I should have been shocked at one person, or 100 people, 10 people, 100 people. But there's just something about a global number of 100,000 people that could have had some impact on my life. I could have had some impact on their life, on their children's life, their parent or grandparents. The people's lives that have been affected by this and what they do with the rest of their life. I know that this pandemic has changed me as a person and is making me rediscover things about myself that I want to change, and I want to be more part of society and be more helpful, be more of a measured, balanced citizen rather than being felt isolated and distant and, dealing with certain issues that have happened in my life in the past. I feel like I've always been in isolation for a very long time, probably nearly a decade. So the isolation part wasn't very difficult, or isn't very difficult. But the notion of wanting to help more, having so much respect for the NHS and the people who are front of line services, getting these people who can help save lives. I mean, there's 308,000 out of that 1.4 million who've actually recovered from it, and a fair number of that will be because of care staff and nurses. And just really brings home about having a profession like that where you can impact so many lives. I think I posted a video about this a couple of days ago about purpose, but I try and not look at these graphs and then the numbers and the charts, but I am addicted to dashboards, and the closer it's got to that number, the more like it has an impact on me. and the less I'm looking at the graph, less I'm looking at the URL every day. But it has changed me forever. It's changed the world forever, I think. I think a lot of people don't realize that, or think things are just going to go back to normal once that curve, flatlines and starts going down the other way, like it has in like Wuhan. They've started allowing people to travel around. I don't think I already know I'm never going to go back to the trajectory that I was on before. And I think it's important to reflect in these times, to think of all those people who have lost their lives, and think about all the families that have been affected by this pandemic. And who knows, we may end up with future pandemics. We may end up with more lives lost because of climate change. We have an opportunity here. Like, you couldn't have a more direct 3 months of any year of any decade to tell you that as a human, as a species, we need to fucking change. You couldn't have any, like, not in my mind. I mean, January was crazy. We were probably minutes away from World War III in January, and then boom, in March, pandemic. Like, all we need now is a fucking meteorite in May, and just to top the fucker off. Why not? It's crazy. It's crazy. So anyway, that's my vlog for today. Sorry if it's a little bit morbid and you were trying to find content that wasn't about COVID or coronavirus because you're sick of seeing, just constant content. I think that's another thing we need to deal with, is data overload. Getting overloaded with data and numbers and just stats. But that 100,000 number really hits there. I guess any number should hit there, but just that big worldwide number like hits me. So my thoughts, and even though I don't have necessarily prayers to a deity, I have compassion for people who have lost their lives in this terrible pandemic. I will catch up with you tomorrow. Bye.